Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I was not on the microphone 3 seconds ago, and then Purge snapped at me and he saved my life. So welcome, Purge, to our panel, as well as Draskyl and snydereN. How you guys doing?
Is this becoming a thing
I'm
now?
the
I
panel,
love that it's
I'm
a
the
thing.
panel police. That's me. That's why I'm here. Do your jobs right.
Thank you.
Voice
I
record. Yes.
Oh, you're
Got
on
it.
it.
Good.
And I got to make sure that this is going. Oh, you know what? We're rolling here. EU qualifiers happening. Did you get a chance to watch much of the last game at all? I know that you just
saw
got in.
bits and pieces. Yeah. So watched a little bit of the last game. Seemed like Ritsu knows how to play Morphling very well, including the Morph.
Most of the time.
Saw that he got the waveform range perk. Somebody was mentioning that. Thought that was cool.
Yep.
I haven't tried it in a long time, but I got that exclusively when they reworked Morph, and I just felt good about it because I could waveform like E-Blade combo from so far away.
Yep.
It was, felt very good, and I could escape better. Just seems kind of good.
Yeah, totally. We also saw that Kitrak knows how to spawn golems at the medium camps, which helps out the early lane stage a
Literally
lot.
save the lane. I mean, it's not really that much of an exaggeration either. Like, no other camp has the same influence as that creep. It's not even close, actually.
Yeah. Especially against Morana.
When you did see how the lane played out, though, I feel like even if he did not get the perfect creep, I think they still would have won the lane with Morphling. That Ritsu just did way too well in that lane.
Yeah.
The golems absolutely play a role, but at the same time, you look at the support Mirana. Let's say Chen doesn't go there. Like, does Mirana actually harass Morphling that much? Probably not. I think my initial
think
assessment of the lane was wrong. I don't think the Morphling Chen will lose that lane even with other creeps.
I don't know. I think maybe you're undervaluing the Mirana attack range a bit because it is 630. Morphling's like, what, 350 or something?
Yeah.
It's really, really short. You take like 3 or 4 autos per creep. It does stack up.
Yeah,
in my
they
opinion.
deal very little damage to a hero that has 8 armor, or however much Morph
True.
has when he's fully Agimorphed. Maybe it's not that much, but he's gonna run tangos. Mirana with Orb of Venom has a, like 40 base attack damage because she's a support in that game, no Wraith Band. So, I don't know. All right, they chose to give BlinkPool actually gave away Wyvern this time, and Wind and Rain are gonna grab it straight away. They really love this hero.
I haven't actually caught any Wyvern games yet. What's so strong about it that it's worth opening first phase?
Well, Beast is very common, first and foremost.
What
I think
what is
that's
common?
Beast.
Okay.
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, yeah. He's been seen like almost every single game where he's available. I think that's one of the main reasons. He's good deep push. She's not too bad in the dual lane. She needs EXP, so I think she fits more into this meta than a tri lane where you really want that 7. You want your one item to be able to spam out waves. Offers a save. It's pretty flexible in my opinion.
You need a specialist on this hero, and that's what they have. I think it's the type of support that you don't just go and pick up for your team. You're like, oh, let's go and play TI Qualifiers. Anyone like Wyvern? Yeah, sure. Let's play Wyvern.
They both have one, right? Soxa plays Wyvern too.
He does, but he hasn't played it for quite a long time, I think. And Milan has been playing the crap out of this hero in this qualifiers and in the open qualifiers. He grabbed it whenever he got his hands on it. So I think they just love it, and they're very comfortable building lineups around it. Wyvern has some clear limitations and some clear benefits, and if you know what they are, you can definitely build good lineups with it.
Why are those heroes invisible?
Yeah, I think we might need to switch over to snydereN's
I see
camera
them.
for the.
No, it's fine in game. It will be fine.
But it's not fine on the stream.
Huh?
Yeah, you can't see the heroes.
Oh, you can read, right? Do you guys know what X looks like?
It's a big red guy. Yeah.
Just start drawing them. Drawing them and put them in the game.
Do we have the capability of doing like the John Madden like draw over the screen thing?
Oh, we
could
should
do
do
that.
that. I think if I poked the screen
I think
here,
Rob
just
might
get
be able to do it
greasy.
from where he is, but I don't think we can do it.
That would actually be an interesting way of doing the draft. Just not even showing the names, and the casters have to draw the heroes for the audience.
Just
and not talk.
pull up like a notepad and make like an ASCII Axe and Skywrath Mage and slap him over like a paint window. I mean, he's just screen capping your screen, so you could definitely do this.
I'm not doing any of those things.
Oh, that'd be so great right now. Just make a little paint window.
Yeah.
So this
trust
is
Skywrath.
Wind and Rain bread and butter lineup right here. They love their Forever Night Stalker. It's a good game for NS, I think, because this time around the BlinkPool opening doesn't show any promise of 5-man pushing or
'Cause they have
grouping
no
up.
heroes.
It doesn't show anything.
It doesn't even show heroes. 2-on-0. Night Stalker's good in a 2-on-0 lane. I like Wyvern into Axe as well. I don't think this is a counter pick as such. Like you can go with this harass lane against the Wyvern, and it can be annoying. But the problem is Axe actually hurts from the Arctic Burn. It's really annoying for him. He's a high HP hero, strength offlaner. And when it comes to fights, a lot of the time you can call into Skywrath ulti, but if the Wyvern has a Glimmer, you're actually saving. You're saving the call with Cold Embrace and the Glimmer Cape. So I would imagine Milan will go that route in this game for that reason, but we will see. I'm liking this Wind and Rain opener for them. If it was any other team, I wouldn't like it so much. But
I think Wyvern did also just get some buffs in the last patch. I want to say it was movement speed decrease at the Arctic or the Splinter Blast.
Oh yeah, it has more slow. I think it went from like 25 up a little bit.
It got a lot cheaper.
Something like that.
That is a
Oh
big
yeah, and
change.
the level 1 mana cost.
It
Right.
was 120, now it's 90. 90 plus 20 per level instead of 120 plus 10 per level. Way easier to use spell. You combine that with the change to int heroes in general with more mana in the early laning stage. Wyvern can actually spam now quite a bit. What else have we seen changed recently? Actually, none of the other spells are showing anything. I feel like there was something else though, but it might have
I
been
think it
with
was a
stats.
talent.
Plus 2 int, I think 1 or 2
That
patches
was
ago.
yeah, that was a while ago.
2 patches, I think.
Are
Yeah.
there any talent changes?
I
Maybe more night vision? Or
don't
is it up
think
to
so.
90 GPM?
I think that was Slarder
used
that
to be
got more
90.
night vision.
Okay.
I think these are the same talents.
Okay.
By the way, Wyvern's 25 talents are dope if we ever
What are
get
they?
there.
Oh,
2
Splinter
second
Blast
Splinter
stun.
Blast
2 second
stun.
Splinter Blast stun.
That's the one.
It is so good.
And it's not like a 7-second cooldown base or
Yep,
something like
7 or 8 seconds. I
It's,
remember.
that talent is sick. The alternative one is 1.5 second Winter's Curse duration, which I think is way worse, almost always. But, Wyvern as a support, obviously one of the few supports that has a 90 GPM talent level 10. It makes a really big difference, I would say, in a lot of games nowadays that some of these supports are getting buffed to play better in lane. Wyvern's biggest weakness was never really its economy. It was its inability to do well in lane. But now that these dual lanes are more prevalent, you can definitely run this hero and build lineups around it. So let's see what happens. They banned Morphling and Bloodseeker by Wind and Rain. And BlinkPool banning Medusa. Are they playing each other's teams here? Like, what's going on?
Why are you saying it's better in lane as dual lanes, isn't it? I mean, you can get less Arctic burn hits. Like, I guess there's less tri-lane versus tri-lane. Like, you need to have your spells ready kind of a thing. And Wyvern usually had trouble with that. Or are you saying that favors Wyvern?
I think this is better for Wyvern than the old tri-lanes.
Undying.
So in the old tri-lanes, you could like Arctic burn 3 heroes if you had a perfect one, which was generally
Right.
difficult, right? But the downside of having cooldowns in tri versus tri is bigger than in 2 versus 2 because there was actually kill potential for the opponents when you had cooldown on Arctic burn, whereas now it's a bit of a harassment advantage. It's not really the same dominance that you're going to see out of it. And it is a long cooldown. It's 50 seconds level 1, so got to make it count. And you combine it with all of the buffs Wyvern got and nerfs other heroes got, and suddenly you have a hero that seems playable.
I don't know. I feel like BlinkPool's draft right now, like the Axe Undying Skywrath, it just feels so like they're lacking a lot. Like obviously once the Axe gets blanked, they're gonna get catch. They have very limited wave clear and not much else. Like I'm looking at these 3 heroes just in a vacuum, and I'm thinking you need to fix a lot. You need another way to initiate besides just Axe. You need to be able to secure your late game, whereas Wind and Rain have another pickup on you right now. Okay, there's their late game.
Early Spectre grab.
And they're picking it into Axe Undying.
And Skywrath Mage. It's like
That's really weird.
3 lane pressure heroes.
Okay,
yeah.
there has to be a plan. There has to be a reason why they picked it now.
I wonder if they're going to try and tri-lane early and go for that
I
early
was
kill
actually
again.
really favoring Wind and Rain until I saw them 3rd pick Spectre.
What?
This is very strange.
Maybe they feel like, okay, both Bloodseeker and PL are out, so our Spectre gets a lot stronger in this hero pool relative to other games.
That's also leaning really heavy on the Wyvern too, though, in the lane, because you're going to have to make sure that you get a really good early harass.
Maybe they're scared that BlinkPool would pick it if they didn't as well.
I like this Lina pick a lot, because now that you have Spectre, you don't want to pick TA.
Yeah.
It's too greedy to go Spectre TA, so therefore Wind and Rain have to pick a different matchup into the Lina, and in addition to that, BlinkPool will have last pick. This is a great choice, I think.
So I think that like you talk about other late game heroes that are in the pool. Medusa's gone, as you guys said. PL, Morphling. The other one that sticks out is maybe a Storm Spirit, which I think is kind of okay against a lot of these heroes. I feel like it's not great against Wyvern if you get like a decent timing on Glimmer Cape, but the bigger one is Night Stalker too. So again, just
Wait, you
trying
mean
to
Storm for Blinkpool?
yeah, Storm. Oh wait, they picked Lina. I was thinking about this
Yeah.
before the Lina came out.
That's okay. I was. Yeah. Okay.
This is another hero Bryle has been running in the mid lane and in the safe lane, actually. I think he's played both lanes.
I kind of like this. Like at this game, it gives Winter Wyvern like you can do Winter's Curse into arrow super easily at all stages of the game. Where normally that ultimate is kind of useful, sometimes not at all. But I kind of like it as an opening. Good at pressuring Sky Undying, Lina, just like a lot of really low armor heroes, basically that throughout the course of the game, Rana can probably just blow them up if she stays on the outside of the fights.
I know it's a Bryle classic on the Mirana, but I was really kind of hoping they would run a Quaswex Invoker on Wind and Rain. I think it's super good against the heroes that BlinkPool have. It's not good against Lina in lane per se,
Yeah.
but it can live. And then during the mid game, Tornado EMP crushes that team.
There's a very big secondary benefit in this game to Mirana, which is she's really good at killing Tombstone after the Leap talent got changed, and Leap in general. Because the Dire lineup right now can't really kill Tombstone until this point. I personally like Undying as a pick into Night Stalker, because first of all, you have Decay against Innocent Lane. You have the Tombstone that Night Stalker, he can't really commit to killing Tombstone during the fight. Like, he doesn't even want to take the type of fights, and the Tombstone gives vision. So you counter some of the big aspects of NS with this one pick, and now they have a way of destroying that tomb. So I think it's a fairly good solution. All of that combined with a hero that can lane against Lina. Something is telling me that this is a slightly Lina favorite matchup, but not nearly as much as it used to be. Like, Mirana is a much better hero now than 2 months ago.
The biggest issue with Mirana is her base damage.
Yep.
The Lina still has longer attack range than you. She will be able to push the waves better, but it's not super lopsided. I think if you're really comfortable on Mirana, you can make it work.
Yep.
Well, Spirit Breaker banned out, the position 4 hero. Wind and Rain potentially could be looking for. Prophet is still in the pool. I don't know if it's that terrible for Wind and Rain if they want to take it and want to try and play fast with the other 4 heroes around the Spectre.
I would not advise putting a support Night Stalker. I don't like the heroes that. And they play the Night Stalker on Forev every single game. They have it. It's probably his best hero nowadays, actually. Not really a Forev classic.
I think all of his heroes are his best hero, dude. I never see that guy do bad, I feel like.
Yeah, he blew up yesterday.
I don't think his Bloodseeker was anything spectacular. It was good.
Okay, I missed that game.
But it was definitely solid, but not on the same level as his NS, I would say. So let's see what they do. Witch Doctor.
Okay.
Hey, so we can see the heroes now.
Okay. They they're showing my screen, that's why. I was told not to alt-tab. Do you think, how mad lad am I right now?
What if you alt F4?
Alt F4? Yeah, I'm technically following instructions as long as I'm doing anything else than alt-tab.
Just turn your computer
quit
off.
the game. Yep. Oops, kick the cables.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Rob. So Witch Doctor, this is a Witch Doctor Wyvern support duo. Pretty strong lane supports. Might want to put the Wyvern with the Night Stalker, that makes me think, and put Witch Doctor safely in Spectre and just use the heal to sustain against this Axe-Skyrath mage. We actually often see Witch Doctor skill heal level 1 nowadays to just to play that way.
Oh.
Okay, they don't have great disable, so AM is going to be hard to kill. But AM versus Spec, isn't Spec classically, like years ago, Spec was kind of an AM solution?
It depends on the timings. Like normally in a vacuum, you would say that the AM would be ahead of the Spectre on items, like 9 games out of 10. But I don't know if that's going to be the case here. Yeah. It really depends on how much the Undying Axe Lane can do. I would say the Spectre should be struggling more than the AM. That's my gut feeling. But we have to see how the lanes go.
With this AM pick, you have to put Undying in his lane. AM Skyrath is not good enough. Yeah, I think they're actually going to lose to Wyvern Night Stalker this lane. So you might have to put the Sky Axe bottom into a Witch Doctor lane that can out-sustain them, and you put your AM safe lane in a matchup that the enemy team is still fine in. Like, AM Undying is not going to bully out Night Stalker Wyvern. There is no way that they can do that. So Wind and Rain's laning stage, I think, is going to be relatively solid here. I don't think they're going to be forced around too much. And I'm just not an anti-mage fan right now, I gotta say. No. I think the hero's just not very good. You need to wait so long before he's online. If he has a great game, like really great game, he's ready to fight minute 20 when he has Battle Fury Manta, which is a really early timing. And I feel like he's going to get contested at nighttime. This Night Stalker's going to be running at him, forcing him away. They have Haunt. Ever gets caught by Silence, suddenly there's a Spectre with pure damage.
Couch, what you thinking?
Well, AM is, I think, decent against Wyvern at least. Like, you're going to be able to mana burn the crap out of whoever gets Cold Embrace. It won't do damage because the mana burn is physical, but mana burning heavily and then going for an ulti, like, or getting a Basher and picking off Wyvern on the back line seems okay, because that is one thing AM's good at. But also getting Winter's Cursed means you're probably going to kill whoever you're caught with. So it seems alright. It is hard to kill. They just have to pressure in the lane.
Oh, I'm really torn. I like AM, but I don't think he's good right now. So I'm probably going to go with Wind and Rain for this game.
All right. Well, thank you so much, our lovely panel, giving us the insights as we hop into this game number 3 decider for the upper bracket. Who's going to move on to face OG? Again, there will be a 30-minute break after this game, regardless of what the outcome is, while these teams get ready for their next match. But for now, we're going into this one. And yeah, AM, man, it did feel like they were definitely targeting Madara a lot with the bans that we saw out there.
They were.
The last ban, Slark, as well.
Yep. I actually think that was the best ban of the whole draft, and we didn't even talk about it. I think that was the perfect ban in that situation. Because it could have had the tempo that the Radiant kind of need in this game. It's a hero that can kill Spectre. It's a hero that does well against Night Stalker in lane and gives night vision. So BlinkPool probably really wanted that grab, and a really great call from Wind and Rain to get rid of it. Yeah, I'm favoring Wind and Rain too, in case you hadn't guessed. I made a very solid, or that's not really my decision to make. If that was a solid case, I have a very solid opinion about the way this laning stage is going to go, and I think a lot of this is going to come down to, well, can BlinkPool actually pressure the lanes enough? Because if they don't, I just think this nighttime timing that the Dire is going to hit will be difficult for them to deal with.
And Madara playing a hero that's classically known for pushing lanes. As again, it was one of those sarcasm things. I guess pushing the tempo. No, it doesn't do it. Ritsu is going to go down here. He has a hell of a lot of regen also, and this early lane that we've seen time and time again, Axe Skywrath, an impossibility trying to deal with it, is Kitrak is going to be very hungry for battle. See if they can come over and contest for the rune. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, and instead it's going to be number 2, it looks like.
Yep. 2 for 2 indeed. Milan's going to get forced away here by Misery. So actually, BlinkPool were contesting 4 runes here, but they only grabbed the 2. They didn't get the bottom one that went to Wyvern, and the top one went to the Night Stalker by just a little bit. Madara's skill Blink, which actually matters in this lane, that he doesn't have the mana break from the beginning, because he could be targeting the Night Stalker and draining all his mana from the beginning. Isn't possible. Oh, Milan, you've got to be a little bit careful here with your movements.
A lot of damage stolen away there. Just going to pop the salve now after that last decay, and that will bring him back up to full after the fact.
I'm surprised he's not skilling Arctic Burn and just starting to lay into this Undying as well as AM. He might go for it now. Oh, he's skilling Splendor Blast.
It's going to be a good bit of damage there if he hits onto both of them, and Forev taking a lot of harassment as well from this Misery Night Stalker. Yeah, it's a little bit different, taking that choice. Oh, he's using it to get last hits.
I got 2 CS there.
Not bad. But Misery is going to just keep going to town, and against this Night Stalker, it hurts that much more being a strength hero and all.
Yep, it does. It's important for the Radiant team in this case that the off lane and the safe lane go well, because I think without the Axe Dagger, they have almost no ways of even initiating fights, and the Dire team wants to skirmish at nighttime for sure. Lina Yules will be quite a ways away. That'll take some time, and the supports have 0 catch. So you absolutely need your cores to be able to itemize that catch, and they have the right heroes for it, but they need to secure the laning.
And Kezu going to be doing that as well, coming over and pulling that creep
Harassment
wave
bottom
behind.
from the Wyvern. So much damage from Milan, actually almost killing Misery here.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, he's still able to throw out some of those decays. Frev down to very low HP, but with the stick also, it means that he's going to be able to get himself topped back off again. And you mentioned it, this is still a lane that's really hard for the Radiant, in spite of having that Undying there.
Tried for the Mango Snipe on Forev, but not enough damage. He had the stick charges.
God, look at this spam that comes out from the Wyvern.
That Splinter Blast change matters. It especially gets scary on level 2, because it's a 180 damage spell on level 2.
And neither of these heroes have sticks.
Yeah. Radiant are losing this lane now. They're running out of regen on Undying. He has to go to base. Actually, he's just dying.
Okay.
Okay, he might have wanted that
Yeah.
to get a refill, but it's a first blood. That's still, it's a lot of gold. I don't think that's the play.
No, I think it was spread between the creeps, actually.
I still think it gives the bounty, though.
got
Like,
it.
look at the numbers here.
Yeah.
276 each. Should be the first blood bounty.
Well, Misery back in lane. He is going to continue to spam out decays, and this is where things start to become a little bit better. Forev down to very low HP, and we'll walk away. Might need to walk all the way back to base, actually. Let's see.
Yeah, looks like he will. So there was some value in that death from Misery for sure. Madara gets some more space, and for now he's definitely doing okay. He will actually be able to afford the ring soon, so doing good on the CS. This went a bit better in the safe lane than I thought it would for Wind and Rain. Or sorry, for BlinkPool. They had to chew through a lot of regen to get to this stage, and Madara is actually not buying the ring. What did he buy? He bought boots. Okay. So he's going boots into ring. Still has a couple of tangos to work with, but now the nighttime comes in, and this gets a lot scarier. You gotta start being careful down here at bottom.
Mid lane, we haven't talked about it a whole heck of a lot, but it's the Lina-Mirana matchup, and things looking relatively even there, actually. Braille having a decent time with it.
Yep.
And up top, Spectre also getting some CS, not as much as Madara is on this AM. But again, I think the big question that we always have is nighttime, what's going to go down? And it looks like Arctic Burn onto both of these heroes. They're going to have a Splinter Blast to follow this up if they want to as well. A little bit off the mark there. But still, the pressure is being mounted. Forev, only level 2.
Yeah, Styx, Raindrop, and Mangoes. They really want to pressure here. You can tell what the mentality is. And I feel like Madara might end up regret. Actually, no, he has the gold for the ring. He gets it just in time here.
Kitrak goes in with the cask now. The Maledict there, the arrow, and Bryle going to be able to find himself a kill in the mid lane.
A little bit of a move there from Witch Doctor. They're going to leave Spectre alone during that downtime. So Reitsu not really touching many creeps right now. Misery is low again. He has to refill once again on this Undying. Now the question is how many bounty runes are they going to get? So Kitrak is contesting this top one against Soxa. And he did get it. So 3 runes will go the way of the Dire as he TPs out. And Forev grabs 2 and goes to his shrine. And I think the shrine might be used bottom by Misery as well, or he has to die to go back to base. Milan just buying time, space here. And they will use the shrine together with Bryle.
Okay.
And pause the game. So far, so good for a couple of heroes in the game. Spectre is top net worth, which is always great for him to see. He doesn't see it. Anti-Mage is also doing relatively well. As mentioned, they spend a lot of gold on regen, and Undying's sole purpose in this game is to enable this AM, so it's very important that it's going this well. That's good. Axe is having a good laning stage too, so I would imagine the dagger will come out relatively early for him. So nobody should really feel too bad about this situation. Oh, nice damage there from Milan onto Misery wants to die. Passed on the ring. He's going to heal Madara, and he's going to run all the way back to base. He doesn't want to die, actually. He's level 4. So the price he pays for dying is too big, and he will still be dying here. He got cut off by Milan.
Nice pickup there by Milan as he backs away. A little bit of a tip, and the walk away. Milan also on very low mana, but he's actually getting really close to Arcane Boots, and that's another way that this lane starts to change, when you can just spam out.
Oh, that's big, yeah. That's really big. I do think it's his preferred item choice. We've had players in the past go Soul Ring on Wyvern. Arrow just barely dodged there by Kezu. Good awareness. The Dire actually pinging out a ward, but there is no ward. They just realized it. And he was coming.
So 0 and 3 so far, still very even. Level 6 is there for Kaiser. Mirana, after making that rotation, she also has her own level 6. But things do get a little bit scary looking for the Laguna Blade after the Light Strike Ray, but the LSA doesn't hit. Kaiser backs up. Or rather, keeps on putting on the harassment, and there's the regen. Down bottom, again, Forev trying to beat into Misery. The Tombstone is down, and Forev very low HP. They need to kill off this tomb ASAP, and well, Milan looks like he's going to go for it one last hit. Takes it down, 150 gold, easy peasy. 1,000 gold on Milan. They do manage to get that one kill.
What's that?
I have no idea.
Oh, Forev just walking in to cast a Void and gets decayed and killed. Milan was fine there. He has 10 sticks, so he definitely has something to work with. There are the Mana Boots, making full use of the duration of Moonlight Shadow to back off and smoke, make some
mid lane again.
Smoke rings in the air.
Oh, nice leap there as well as the arrow. And with the Maledict on, there's going to be a dead Kaiser again.
And Soxa TPing in vain here also. So they're forcing the rotation around. Again, good laning stage from Wind and Rain, building themselves an advantage here.
And that's one of those things, too. You see the Moonlight Shadow. Witch Doctor's been missing a little while. That rotation had happened before. I'm not sure. It's like a bit of an oversight, possibly, or maybe a lack of communication.
It was definitely possible to predict. There's a lot of things going on at once in this game right now, so yeah, it's a bit chaotic probably for the Radiant communication as well.
Milan, level 4, 2-2-0 build, and Madara has that Ring of Health, as you were mentioning, trying to get towards the treads as soon as possible. But the rotation for Kezu doesn't look like they're going to be able to find him. Haunt instead, they go down immediately.
Oh, he blinks, but it's a short-range blink. Ritsu will grab this kill. The perfect kill for the perfect hero as well. actually getting that grab on Spectre is going to feel really good about that one.
And this Haunt rotation comes a little bit earlier than the one that we saw last game with the Siege creep, but it looks like Ritsu is still comfortable staying down here.
And you're seeing what they accomplished, right? Like, this Spectre is now level 7 and AM is level 5. Not even 6 yet.
Madara has TP'd into this. He does have a Blink Dagger, but you do not want to have to use it, particularly since he's still going to have the dagger.
If he dies now, this is real bad. He just TP'd in.
Oh, and the chase.
He has level 1 Blink.
No, not going to be able to get away, and nobody there to help him.
That is real hurtful. That is one of the biggest mistakes of the whole series, for sure. It is so expensive to have this happen. You die, you TP back, you die again. Now on his second life, he has 30-second cooldown on TP. So he basically lost 3 full creep waves now. He has to run all the way back to lane. Yeah, Forev putting the pressure on.
Oh, they're going to try and see if they can get something in return. Tombstone is already down. He does still chase forward for more, trying to get out of here. Forev is going to be taunted and killed off, but again, the bigger story, like you said, is the Spectre that is having a great old time. And the AM, who is decidedly not.
Yeah. Madara is very far behind par right now. 2,800 net worth minute 10. In a great game with Anti-Mage, you can start closing in on a Battle Fury at this point. He did not go Aquila, so this is a... Like, I think if you're having a great game where you go Treads Battle Fury, you can have it like 12, 13 minutes. He is really far off that mark right now. Does get a tower top, that's big for him.
Bryle sees Kaiser here in the jungle. He has an Invis rune working, and there's a chance that he could find a snipe possibly. He needs to hit the arrow first, though. Waiting for Kaiser to go by. Arrow comes out. There's going to be the jump forward Starstorm. The right clicks. It's there, and another kill working for him.
Big one. Solo kill, core versus core, is always very big. Gets to level 10. So you're now a full level ahead of Kaiser. The tower does get denied by Kezu, but that's an expensive deny. Not worth it if he ends up dying to Ritsu here, and he will. Wow. Sorry, that kind of just came to mind there.
That was great. I loved it. Never change. Oh, they're going to find the Skywrath Mage there as well. 2-8. Lina dead, Axe dead, the Anti-Mage is dead. They're all going down, man. They're all dead. I'm right there with you.
Hey. It sucks when you do this as AM minute 11. This, I can tell you, Madara is not feeling good about this, but sometimes a really bad option is the best one. And all of this is kind of caused by that aggressive duel lane pressuring him that much, and then him dying and TPing back and dying again basically slowed him down a few minutes. So there's going to be a lot more space needing to be created by the Radiant, but who's going to do it? Kezu actually went Vanguard first. Not sure if this is the game for it. I feel like a fast dagger would have been necessary. Lina isn't having too hot of a game either, so who's actually going to be making moves for the Radiant lineup? It kind of reminds me of the game that they had against OG in the groups, or in the opens rather. It was the groups, my bad.
Got it.
Where they had a Sand King support and a mid TA and a safe lane Slark. So everybody needed to farm.
Yeah.
And nobody made space. Curse into Haunt.
They have the Tombstone down now, not deciding to take it as the Skywrath Mage being ran at yet again. They're going to turn their sights onto the Captain. Misery goes down, and Ritsu gets the kill on the secondary Tombstone, as well as now Forev chasing down Kezu. They have lost the Witch Doctor. Forev needing to back out now. Is getting a little bit too big for his britches. Meanwhile, the turnaround, Ritsu need to escape. He's on such low HP. TPing out, and they do manage to find the kill with the Mana Void. Kaiser, though, afterwards going to be punished. There's no miss uphill. Can't catch a break, but they did manage to get that kill on the Spectre.
Yeah, AM getting that kill helps this game out a lot. That was a 500 gold kill, I think, for him. 454 for the Anti-Mage. Had to rotate for it, though, so lost some CS, but well worth it for him. And Bryle is so high level. He's level 12. Level 12, minute 12. That's a good game.
Yeah, and hasn't died yet. In comparison to the Leon on the other side, everywhere Matar goes, he just gets pummeled here by Forev, just running at him underneath the tower. Even doesn't have the silence, but this does not feel good for an anti-mage. You just can't hit any creeps at all.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep zoning him off the lane over and over again. This is a long night time to go as well. There's 3 minutes left, and he will have another darkness. So, AM forced into the woods once more, and I can't give you the exact math on this, how much percentage of a loss this is in GPM, but it's big. He also has to buy a flask now to farm because he's taking damage while farming jungle. It ain't good.
And Kitrak has been playing around this area. He expects that there's a ward, but he actually misses into it. Instead is going to find Kezu down here. And with the Winter Wyvern and Maledict, I think they can actually find a kill. And the Moonlight Shadow
didn't see them, but he is backing off. The Radiant team very scared. Look at their positioning. They're all under their towers.
Nobody's hitting creeps at all.
Yeah. It's terrifying. Strong aggressive warding from the Dire. There's a Night Stalker in the game. Oh, this Lina, she's getting spotted by a ward. You could try to go for this. Browl's getting in position, but Kaiser plays safe and backs off. Kitrak may have been able to actually take that opportunity. I think they could have perhaps killed there with Cast
They
Maledict.
see him again, though, and the creep wave's going under the tower. They're going to die for this, I think. And with the Haunt, no, not up and online, they're still going to be able to find Kaiser, who is going to die. And Tombstone down, Kezu wanting to make a play. The Winter's Curse, though, to turn it back around. Now Kitrak just TPs. See you later. Doesn't even care.
Wow, that was so close.
Chase forward onto Forev.
Oh, Maut really wants this kill. He's getting tired of Night Stalker's shit here.
It ain't happening. Forev is going to die. All right.
It definitely is happening. He was out of mana.
Thanks for keeping me real. Got to do that.
If he had more stick charges, he could have lived with stick into Hunter in the Night, but only 2 charges remained.
So 3,000 gold lead, 15 minutes in. I mean, normally you say, okay, if Spectre is top net worth, it's amazing. With an anti-mage in the game,
It's amazing.
It's still amazing, okay.
Yes, this is amazing.
He is getting closer to that Battle Fury, but that doesn't really allow him to fight either, I guess.
No. It's still going to end up being a pretty respectable timing for Madara at the end of the day here, because when you look at what kind of a game he's had, getting a 15.5-minute one is pretty admirable.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to that Spectre kill he got mid. That helped him out so much.
Ritsu going forward and farming in the face of Misery. Not afraid of all that much as Misery.
That sounds so poetic. In the face of misery.
I mean, it's not actually that much misery if
No.
you think about the way the game has gone for him.
Not really. So there is a chance now that AM can start to overtake Spectre. He needs to keep up his farming pace, and they need to not find him with Night Stalker plus Haunt. That's the one big threat he has to dodge, which is not that easy, because I think those two combining will kill him from full health very easily. If he goes on this wave top, he can die. They will Darkness, Haunt, and silence him. It's going to happen right now. It has to happen right now.
They're looking for it. And with the Scarith Mage in the area, maybe they can make it happen, but the silence is there, as you said, the Haunt, and it is not going to happen.
The creep wave, he didn't proc Desolate on his attacks because the creep wave was next to him.
Did they need to Void there at the start of it?
No. They probably didn't, actually. Okay, he's going to curse the creep here.
Okay, that pulls Kezu back in, but
Not enough. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. They still forced him out, but Madara's going to be very happy with surviving that. That was so close. He had like 1% HP in that move.
And the thing
still
that
got out alive.
I think about when you talk about it is that it gives an opportunity for Madara to feel a lot more safe now because there's no Haunt that he has to worry about for that initiation at least.
No Haunt, no Darkness. He is safe for the next minute and a half even. This is a level 1 Darkness, so it's going to take a while. Spectre will, however, have an 18-minute Radiance.
That's terrifying.
That is very fast. But it's still a winnable game for the Radiant, for sure. This is definitely a winnable game.
Meanwhile, it's going to be a smoke up. Make space for your team. The Blink Dagger is there for Axe. If they can manage to find a couple key kills with Bryle and Kitrak there, the jump forward, the call, it's not on the mark with the Mystic Flare afterwards, but it might not matter. They do have a leap in a second. Bryle getting away, but the Battle Hunger, he kills off a zombie that keeps him alive.
Clutch.
Oh, wow. And now Misery, they're chasing forward for this. It looks like the arrow is not going to connect.
That was such a sick sequence from Bryle. He reacted so quickly to the Axe call on the leap, and Saksa thought that the call had hit, so he started casting the Mystic Flare as fast as possible. And Bryle leaps away, then leaps again, like you said, kills the Tombstone zombie to get rid of Battle Hunger. Beautiful stuff. At the same time, if you wait a little bit on the Skywrath there, just wait for the call to hit.
Right.
You can't fail that kill. So it was definitely a great play within a mistake. Moonlight. Forever's going to scout them out, I think.
They're
Maybe.
just outside of range. They
When's
see
Haunt
him
up?
now.
20 seconds on Haunt. They want to find this fight.
With Radiance. Would
Yeah.
be a great timing. Darkness back off cooldown in 20, but it's also going to be nighttime in a minute. And, well, Brow just arrows him.
Yeah, easy kill in Misery. He was just standing there as a scout, basically. And sometimes scouts die. Does happen. Yep, there's another one.
Well, Scout, you're done.
It's still space for both Ritsu and for Madara, though. They're both getting farm. And now Madara is going to start overtaking him in net worth. If he would have died to that Night Stalker gank before, he would have been almost 1,000 behind the Spectre. Very big, but this didn't happen.
Darkness pops. They jump
Haunt
up. They
if they
spot
want
him
to.
out. Decent fight here. The silence is there. There's not going to be a call. Can they follow this up with anything else? Light Strike Ray already out. The Hawk comes in. They chase down Kaiser now. He is isolated away from the rest of his team, but the Winter's Curse is there as well. They decide to take down this Tombstone. Can they kill it off in time? Mystic Flare there, but the Cold Embrace is keeping Forev alive for the moment. Ritsu still trying to take down this Tombstone. They finally get it. A good bit of gold. Forev jumps away. Madara decide to show up into this fight as well. There's low mana on several of these heroes. The jump for it's not quite enough. 20 HP.
Damn. That's almost fair after what happened last time on the Haunt.
Yeah.
They're both just surviving each other's ganks with like no health whatsoever. But that turned out to be a pretty decent fight for the Radiant. I thought that was going to go way worse for them, but the Tombstone stood for so long. I think Bryle might have wanted to focus that with a leap. He has the attack speed talent. He'll kill it really fast. And it was allowed to stand there for a good, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe before
Yeah.
Ritsu got the job done. I don't think that should be Ritsu's job. I think you let the Mirana take out the Tomb and Ritsu hunts heroes with his Haunt. But it's a good swing the Radiant's way. Madara making progress. This would probably be a 23-minute Manta. Maybe even 22. Unless if he gets caught now.
They
Looks
don't
fine
have
for
a
him.
Haunt, though, yeah. So,
Haster and Mirana.
talk about a little bit... Ooh. Yeah, he's heading away, though. Although he is going to come back to this camp, it looks like, and did just blink down bottom.
Is a dead Skywrath. Oh, he has Sentry.
No, they're going for the others, and
He
yeah,
knows.
that Sentry. That saves their life. Well played by the Skywrath. So one little bit of synergy we haven't talked about. Eventually that Wyvern level 15, 500 night vision with Darkness. Seems pretty good.
I mean, they're on the favorable team. He doesn't really need it.
I guess that's true.
I think he will take the health. This game.
Oh wait, they found Madara.
Madara. Oh, he got silenced.
Excuse me?
He's not
They
getting
take it
out this time.
He's done.
Oh, that was so greedy, man. He just dodged the gank attempt bottom, and they've been gone for a while.
Wow.
They just ran to him in a straight line, and he just didn't respect it. Bit of a misread on the map there, and this is one of those skills on anti-mates that you have to have it down to a T. These deaths are... I don't think there's any carry I can think of that gets hurt as much by these like movement deaths as anti-mage does. It's such a timing hero in this patch.
Kezu is here, and Forev is not quite going to scout him out, but they're bringing in other heroes. They might want to actually fight this. Forev is going to get called. They drop down the zombie, and, well, the Mystic Flare is already up with the Haunt to turn it back around. Are they really trying to take this fight right now? That's going to be a dead misery. Forev is living, and Kezu's stuck behind as well. This is a huge problem, and now maybe even right to Roche.
Yeah, that's a DD run. Gaben likes them today. Sometimes Gaben just wants you to win the series. 75
Non-biased
damage on
caster
Witch
here.
Doctor. Mirana bottled the double damage. He's going to use it here, I would imagine. No, he's actually saving it for a fight. Bit greedy, honestly. The Radiant, can they? Nah. Axe in 15 seconds. They can't. Oh, now he
And
uses it.
Lena doesn't have a... Okay. Lena
Okay.
doesn't have a TP anyways.
Sometimes you change your mind. Yeah, they got it. Aegis on Bryle, not on the Spectre. Interestingly, Spectre is generally considered one of the better heroes to give the Aegis to just because of how much damage Spectre does while dying. But they feel confident that Bryle is actually going to be able to just jump in and play aggressively now as well, and if Spectre does die, there could be a buyback Haunt play. So I'm okay with this. Both heroes definitely very valuable to the Dire team. Forev finishing a pipe in a moment.
They run into Madara yet
he
again.
bought
The
the Manta.
silence is there. Nice. play, but the Winter's Curse to turn it back around. This isn't going to do
Arrow?
all much. The arrow follow-up, though. Now it does a lot as they get the Soul Rip trying to turn it, though. The flare comes down with the call, but now Ritsu is here as well, and that is going to be a couple done. They kill off the Aegis from Bryle.
What a godlike cask from Kitrak. That bounced between heroes the full amount of times. Maut actually couldn't really hit very much. He just kept getting stunned by the coconut. And they're more than happy with trading away an Aegis for these 3 kills. It's 2 cores, one of them being the anti-mage. And all they had to expend, they didn't even have Haunt Man.
Yeah.
They actually just staggered in and ran in on the Spectre. Big, big win for Dire.
And this Ritsu Spectre is going to get further and further out of control with the Manta style coming up shortly. Haunt back off cooldown in 20 seconds. The Aegis is not there, but I don't know if they even necessarily have to have it to close out the rest of these tier 2 towers.
They need nighttime at least. So they can pop at darkness to try to get this bottom tower if they want to, but they seem to be in favor of just playing safely here. Or rather, they're actually smoking for a play because Haunt is up. I love this choice. There's going to be a really big pick for them in this Lina. She did get spotted under an observer. Do they have detection? Oh, they found Madara.
Yet again, he's going to blink out, but the Haunt to chase, if they want to do it, it's a little bit scary
It's
with
too
all these
deep.
other heroes here. God, but look at how much damage like the Skywrath takes in that Haunt. He's almost dead.
Desolate plus Radiance is no joke. The supports, if you're not close to anyone, you almost, yeah, that was almost full HP to just a Haunt Illusion. He did 700 damage by pressing 1 button to Skywrath. It's like 3 Zeus ultis.
That's insane.
It's pretty crazy. When Spectre's this farmed, I don't know what the win rate is of this hero when it's 8k up at minute 25, but it's got to be something ridiculous. Were they this much up in the last Spectre game when they lost actually to PL? It was something similar, I think.
Yeah, they might have been.
But I don't think it was at this time, and it was in a totally different matchup. Like, this is a different game.
Well, and the Doppelganger talent kind of completely destroyed everything afterwards also.
It got, it got them 3 lanes of racks at least.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's something.
It seems decent.
Yeah. Ritsu's playing efficiently here, running clarities. He's going to send out his Manta style.
God, there's
Haunt.
always sentries all over the
Oh,
map.
this is a play attempt here from the Radiant. They're not
They see him.
catching, though.
They see Kaiser. Immediately there, the call, it's onto the Spectre Illusion. Feels bad, man, and the Winter's Curse also, and Dying in trouble. They're all grouped together. They're going to start falling. The cask is bouncing, and they're all dying. Kezu trying to TP away, and he is going to do it, but the Maledict back in the base.
He's dead, actually,
One
I
more
think.
hit. Oh,
Fairy
God.
Fire, clutch. He actually lived because of
Did
that
he
one.
buy a Fairy Fire?
He needed to use it too.
Oh,
he
wow.
actually needed that Fairy Fire to live. Nice play in the clutch there by Kezu, but again, oh, they're getting so punished, this Radiant line. That was another fight without Haunt, and they lost it clean sweep. The illusion getting caught there already, the fight is just lost. Like, it's actually unsalvageable at that point.
Well, 8-27 in what is looking like potentially a one-sided game number 3. Winner goes on to face OG, and right now it's looking like it's going to be Wind and Rain unless BlinkPool can pull something together here. They need Madara to be farmed. He is getting towards the Basher. I've seen this hero get out of control before, but is he going to have the time?
He's got a lot of weight to carry because Lina's just not having a good game. Kaiser is 0-6. That's not how Lina plays, you know? Lina is one of those heroes that wants to get these early kills, wants to play from ahead. It is, I wouldn't call it as snowbally as some other mids, like say you play a Skywrath mid and you don't find kills, it's terrible, but Lina can farm, but it's just not been a good game for Kaiser. He's been ganked multiple times by this Night Stalker and Mirana combo. Mirana even soloed him. Now the darkness is covering the map and the Radiant is terrified.
They find themselves Madara with the Winter's Curse yet again, trying to set up onto him. He's going to blink away, but the Haunt comes out. They spot him out immediately. Arrow, it connects. Bryle makes the kill in the woods. And again, this anti-mage is denied.
This team is so, I don't know, it's so interesting to watch. Like, they make these plays, and then sometimes they do something really stupid, you know? But the majority of the time, Wind and Rain do really, really nice moves, and this is one of those. You know, it's you can just tell it's communicated. I'm going to curse, then we haunt, and when we find where we blink to, we can arrow. Like, it was planned. From the moment the curse came in, what they were going to do step 1, 2, and 3. And that is, it may sound easy, but in the heat of the moment, these calls are not, it's not that simple to set up. It must be some really clear-cut, simple communication.
Be very interesting to hear chat logs of the team, which I don't think would ever happen, but Definitely feels like,
Oh,
my
misery.
God. Found in the woods. And this guy is done. The
didn't
call?
mean to dodge the call. He tried.
Well, he's still living.
Golden Embrace. And Kaiser's dead too. And Sox is dead too.
And, well, it looks like AM,
And BlinkPool is dead too. They're all dead?
they're all dead.
Say the thing.
They're all
Gaben,
dead!
Say the thing. I
They
just called
said
you Gaben.
I know you did.
That wasn't even on purpose. I'm like, I don't like.
They don't
Gabe
have the
C.
chat wheel.
Oh, there's a kill from Otto. He found the Witch Doctor.
Hey.
Small consolation prize arrow, not going to land. If that would have landed, he could have actually died there. So, Madara, important.
Is he going to blink here? Oh, they have the silence.
He has
Waiting on
Manta.
it?
He's fine.
Okay.
He's holding on to it. He has to save it for the Night Stalker silence.
Forev was like baiting it. He kept on putting his hand out like he wanted to reach for him, but yeah. No commitment there. Very impressed with the Wind and Rain team in this game, in the drafting that we've been seeing from them.
Yeah,
It feels
been
like
looking
they've had
so good this game in the second game.
good answers.
Yeah. It's also just like the individual moves they make and the individual decisions and how you can see it weaves into their teamfight execution. They just seem to have a good understanding individually of what their heroes can, need, and should do.
Ritsu decided to finish off his magic wand.
Honda's ready, by the way.
29 minutes.
Yeah, value stats and a clarity.
While also getting the Eagle Song.
Night Stalker's buying Hex. I love this choice. They know that this game is unlosable if AM doesn't take off anymore. It is actually the one hope for the Radiant is a big AM play from Madara. And he just doesn't have much to work with. This is a really poor inventory to have him in at 30 on this hero. He's still top net worth.
Right.
But AM is a hero that wants to play from more ahead than this. We've seen games where AM does well. At this point, he will be 5 to 10k ahead of the Spectre. And not even close.
And there isn't really that hero with the big mana pool to blow up with a mana void.
That's a good point.
The closest one is the Wyvern, and Milana's just been playing this so well. Like, look at how much gold he's got into survivability and just getting away from the AM.
GPM talent.
Hey,
It's doing work. He's getting items.
the Witch Doctor also went for his GPM talent, so has the Glimmer Cape already done. These supports that would normally be food for AM are just not looking like they're going to go down.
Witch Doctor will be food if he gets
Okay.
jumped. Oh, Kazu.
They find him again.
Found him
and
on the
with
ward.
Witch Doctor ulti. It comes out. They also spot Kaiser here. The dust is there. And this Lina in trouble as he is going to go down. Bottom lane, though, the pressure's coming.
Wyvern's already setting up.
Oh, the walk into Winter's Curse. They're going to set it up beautifully. Looking for their moment. And now the arrow, it's going to come out in time, possibly. Looking for the hit. It's going to be there. They don't quite time the Starstorm, but Madara trying to blink away. Misery is there to try and save a life, but Madara does get out, it looks like.
And it's all good that you have this Abyssal and AM, but you're not the team initiating. The last initiation I remember was the one where they blink called the illusion. That feels like it was 10 minutes ago.
And they blink called an illusion.
And they blink called an illusion, so did they really initiate?
30 seconds to Roche. Gem on Night Stalker as well. So you take a look at the relative vision of these two teams, and right now BlinkPool is just fully hemmed in. They do have a nice ward up here that's in the jungle, but a lot of the time we're seeing them play other sides of the map. As Gitrak again able to find the Skywrath Mage. They're moving in with Madara as well, and when you're running away two heroes from the Witch Doctor, you know it ain't great.
Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction for the next team fight.
Okay.
Spectre is gonna press his ult, and Skywrath is gonna die. Just from that alone. He has a butterfly now. I actually think he will die from Haunt. And he can't do anything. He actually doesn't have any items. So, unless he is next to an ally, Desolate will kill him. That's concerning. That makes fighting really easy when you can just kill off supports without even touching them.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see how it goes. They're trying to make a move 15 seconds on the Haunt here. But they're Moonlight shadowing away, realizing that the Radiant were up to a move here. I think the smoke might have been spotted by the Radiant ward top, or the Dire ward rather. So just chilling around here.
They're moving into Roche.
This is an all-in play. If this play fails, the game is lost.
Desperation.
But high risk, high reward, as they call it.
And
Now
they're
the Dire
going to move in.
Yeah, they're just going to move in the Night Stalker as a body.
The other scary
is
thing
online.
about this, they have the Haunt immediately. Blinks or cancel. Kezu can't do it. Misery in misery as he goes down to his carry Madara. Trying to blink out of there. They do manage to throw out the Laguna Blade, but it's only on the Witch Doctor. Aegis is now there for Mr. Ritsu, and the Mana Void might not be able to seal the deal as the Tombstone is down, but 4 are dead.
He actually got saved by the Tombstone there. The zombies blocked the arrow of Bryle out of the Yours, else Madara would have died as well, but it's still a huge grab for the Dire, obviously. They get a full team wipe except AM. They get the Aegis and Cheese on Spectre, and all they have to pay for it is a buyback from Witch Doctor, which they didn't even have to pay. It was actually wasted. So, clean fight from them. And my prediction was wrong. Skywrath actually didn't die to the illusion only. Spectre hit him once. He did hit him one time with his hero, but I don't think he needed to.
That's cheating, honestly. Double gem on Night Stalker, because why not? And the tower falls. Again, 20,000 net worth lead, no need to rush it. They can wait till the next taunt and then go in again. You take a look at these levels as well. Right now you're hitting the level 20 talents for a lot of these heroes. The movement speed for the Night Stalker. We also got the Mirana taking the spell amplification talent, interestingly enough, instead of the mana break, which we sometimes do see.
That is actually very surprising. 12% spell amp. It's a bit on Starstorm, it's a bit on Maelstrom, but the mana break against AM seems really useful. If you can drain his mana in the fight, or just, it still deals physical damage, so... okay, it's a great thing to have against Axe, like these heroes that need mana, but... honestly, I feel like this might have been a misclick. But, not sure.
Spectre Illusion goes in and just
this
lays
is on the
waste.
hunt. Haunt in 5 seconds. Forev is finding Kezu here. Doesn't want to go for it, though.
Top lane. Misery dead again. The little tip, because why not?
A couple of hits from the Death Ward and a Manta illusion.
Kaiser in
Oh, no,
trouble
that's a
also.
regular illusion.
There's
Haunt
a
is
Eul
ready.
Scepter. And the turn, and they do not feel comfortable going on Night Stalker. They're pinging out exactly where the AM is.
Yeah, Forev is so tanky. Like, he has Pipe, 14 armor, and 3,000 health.
Yeah.
And he didn't even take the strength talent. He took the cast range. I really like that in this game because he identifies that his primary job is just trying to either cancel the Axis Dagger or get the silence on AM after Manta. So he's definitely, I'm a big fan of that. He also took the move speed talent instead of the damage that we usually see people take, so this is pretty different, but he just wants to move as fast as possible, full on haste mode, and find the silence.
He's got enough farm to make up for it for sure. Well, if Spectre is able to solo the Skywrath with just an ulti, he does have buyback, but he's the only one on his team.
Oh, it sucks. Sucks to know.
Not like this. Oh, he's moving forward for it. He wants to live so badly, but he's just going to be pummeled. And feeling bad.
This Night Stalker is almost perma-hasted without activating Phase Boots because of the move speed talent. He has 534. Curse.
Onto one, they do manage to find the call, and the Battle Hunger down as well onto Milan, but they throw down the Witch Doctor ultimate. Doesn't care about Blade Mail there, and the ulti comes out. Ritsu just laying waste on this very farmed late game Spectre. Madara jumps in. He does have a Mana Void available, burning through some of the mana of Milan, but too scary. Had to run. He actually didn't have the mana left over for the Mana Void afterwards. Tier 3 tower is going to go down now, and all of the possible angles that you can run to are going to be blocked off. The barracks are down. Kaiser trying desperately to go through these creep waves, but it is just not happening. They have Laguna Blade. They don't have BKB on Lina. Skywrath does have a Mystic Flare. They're within vision. Arrow comes out. Not going to hit there. Have the Concussive as well as the Eul Scepter hitting onto it. Light Strike Ray a little bit off the mark. The chase for it. Kaiser just getting almost soloed there. They don't stand a chance right now with the amount of DPS coming out. And this is before Ritsu even gets himself really into the fight. The jump forward. Madara trying to take down one. The call is there as well, but he's going to end up getting stunned. The cast bouncing back and forth. Madara needs to get out. Kezu in trouble also as Misery is going to be ran down next. One by one they fall. And Wind and Rain looking incredibly strong right now as they look to close out this game at number 3. Although they do burn through the Aegis of the Spectre. It's only the Aegis, no Laguna Blade. Madara wants to do something at all, but with the rotations coming in from the rest of his team. They turn, they fight a Winter's Curse. Not the greatest in the world, but this game is over.
Do you want to hit the buildings, guys? No? Okay. I guess we're hitting heroes. And they're doing a pretty good job at that.
Oh, the chase in. They do not care. They do lose for Ev, but this one certainly in the favor of Wind and Rain as they're going to close out the last couple of barracks, and GG is called. 50-11, 32,000 net worth lead. They stumbled a little bit in game number 1, but Wind and Rain looking good in the next 2.
When they look good, they look really good. Like, this is... I still, once again, I have this feeling that this team can compete with OG. When we've seen the best from Wind and Rain that we've seen is definitely the best that we've seen out of all of the remaining teams except OG. The thing that is with this team, though, is just they're not always consistently on this level. Sometimes their drafting's a little bit weaker. Sometimes they make some more or less very avoidable mistakes. But these last 2 games, man, especially Bryle has been looking super strong. Last game, 1 death. This game, 0 deaths. He's involved in tons of kills, making great decisions, movements. He's probably my MVP again, honestly.
What a
If
guy.
I can choose. He's doing a really, really excellent job from that mid-roll in these 2 games. I'm a fan.
So panel, how you guys feeling? Oh,
Good.
And with the end, the USA XD comes out. I'm not sure who that's from. Who's that from?
No idea.
Trying
But
to
I
find
will
out.
say that second game in a row, I feel like BlinkPool's last pick was super suspect. And I don't really see
What was their last hero?
AM.
Yeah. I mean, he got pressured in the lane pretty heavily, but then
I-
he still
I-
had decent net worth.
It's
but
too.
I think the lane actually went a lot better for the AM than I thought it would. I think the Undying actually was able to almost effectively zone 2 heroes by himself, and he died once in a bit of a silly way, but it was just to get regen back. He comes back to the lane, and it seemed like everything was going okay, and then just seems like the movements coming out of Wind and Rain on top of Bryle's performance as well was just too much for them.
Yeah, Bryle actually owned the way that he dumpstered the Lina was just really impressive to me. All the little ganks, it really impresses me as a terrible Mirana player when people can land arrows consistently without setups. Even short range arrows to get a 1 second stun or 1.5 second stun, and the fact that he made Lina essentially a non-factor in the game was just game changing in a big way. Because then even AM is worse because AM is like a jump in to help out, get an easy kill thing. And if Lina can do a stun setup and AM can show up, then AM's game gets better. So just by shutting down the Lina, they just took one of those tempo heroes out of the game that could have worked with Axe, could have worked with AM. And just amazing plays from the supports as well on a Wind and Rain. Those guys are really good.
Everybody played a really great game. And we did end up seeing one of the things we were talking about going in that could happen is that there's just too many people that need space in this game for the Radiant lineup. If they don't snowball and do very well in their laning stage, you have an Axe that needs to farm a dagger, you have a Lina that needs to farm a Yule Shadowblade, and you have an Anti-Mage that needs to farm for 30 minutes. So who makes plays? Skywrath and Undying have no catch, so it's I feel like these Undying drafts where the team doesn't want to group up and use Tombstone just feel strange. It's you win your lane and then you're just there.
Yeah.
What did Misery do in this game after the early laning stage? There was one fight that was a good Tombstone in because the fight actually did happen. Apart from that, it's hard to run Undying like this. I get the idea, and they need to secure their lanes, but somebody else has to be able to make plays so that his hero gets into the game.
Yeah. No, I think that that just goes back to the AM for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other safe laners that could have given the potential to group up and actually do something, but AM is just not that hero.
Yeah.
I really got to give a shout out to Kittrack there as well. I feel like a couple of those rotations he made early on the Witch Doctor, which enabled the Mirana to make those kills happen. And then on top of that, just in the more bigger picture sense of this series, you get on game 1 in a really bad fashion against a very renowned drafter in Misery, and then you're able to come back and outdraft him the next 2 series. We didn't talk about it a lot, but that last ban on Slark also really being key to them being able to have no other great hero for Madara to play on. It felt like it was, a lot because of him that they won this series.
I agree.
The
great drafting.
bans,
Last 2 games.
the bans in the drafting were definitely solid, but I feel like Misery might have overthought it, in my opinion. In both, he last picks a Medusa, and then he last picks an Anti-Mage. It's what patch are you playing?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
These heroes just, their functionality in this particular meta is super, super limited. Anything else, I honestly think would have been better than an Anti-Mage. As soon as I saw the pick, I was like, okay, I'm an Anti-Mage fan because I like the hero, but it doesn't work.
I really loved how well Winter Wyvern looked. Like it was very obvious in the mid and late game just how strong the hero was. Like Winter's Curse setups into Arrow, really easy and obvious. That could, but something like an Axe against an Axe, it seemed amazing too. Even if Axe calls like 2 heroes, as long as you're not in there, it basically doesn't matter because then you just Winter's Curse the Axe. Now there's this other AOE that your other enemy heroes can't even follow up on the Axe with. It just seemed very effective from the beginning to the end.
Also, when you get called on someone and you cold embrace them, they can't hit. So Axe doesn't spin.
True. Yeah.
You have basically like 2 counterplays in one. And they picked Axe into it. They actually chose
Yeah.
Axe after the Wyvern. The order of the draft was Wyvern first pick, and then they took Skywrath Axe. And I didn't really like that counter pick. I didn't really think it was a counter pick.
Right.
I just the opening was very solid for Wind and Rain, and they ended up getting this Witch Doctor that just skilled heal level 1, stood in the lane with Ritsu, and they killed creeps.
I guess I just look at it as it wasn't necessarily a counter, it was more of like this is just what our opening is going to be, and we want to make sure that we can pressure any carry that you get, maybe to like disincentivize something like a Spectre. But there were so many times where like Axe would go on somebody in the trading, and then Wyvern would throw out an Arctic Burn and a Splinter Blast, and the Axe is now at like half HP, and he's like crawling towards his tower, screwed.
Yeah.
So it was really effective. I was impressed.
Well, that's going to do it for our first 2 opening series. There's going to be about a half an hour break while we wait for Wind and Rain to get themselves ready for their match against OG, and that one is going to be really cool. Not a spot at TI since there's only 1 slot for the EU region, but it is going to be a date in the Grand Finals. And then, of course, on the other side of things, as we take a look at the schedule coming up, it's going to be Kingwin versus BlinkPool, and that match is going to be played at the end of today as well. So 4 best of 3s today. The third one being a spot in the winners finals. Any final thoughts before we head to a quick break about what you guys think about these 2 matchups? Anything stand out?
I think that Kingwin definitely looked the weakest of any team. So my assumption is that we're going to see a Wind and Rain and BlinkPool rematch.
Okay.
Because I can see OG beating Wind and Rain still. I feel like dropping a game to BlinkPool when BlinkPool actually had a good draft, I think OG will not lose the draft to them a single time. And I think they will most likely see a rematch, and then whoever wins that's just going to play OG again in the Grand Finals.
Do you think Kingwin are going to have as bad drafts against BlinkPool? I think they're going to step it up and just stabilize and do something better. Because they looked
possible.
awful, but their drafts were also really not good.
No, I agree that
they had bad conditions to shine on any player in any of the 2 games. Like nobody was set up for success.
Yeah,
so.
that's definitely true. I think that they can step it up for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we're going to go to a quick break. Maybe go eat some food or something. That sounds good.
Close it out. I'm hungry.
Let's do it.
Breakfast.
See y'all in a few for our 3rd best of 3 of the day in a bit.